Yes.
Yeah, one doesn't bother me on Sunday and he's like, yeah, you kind of need to do stuff.
Yes.
But they stop it, you know, on the little truck. And they take-
Hi, Philippa. This is Crystal. I'm going to make you the host and then leave the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's here? We've got Denise
Hi,
here.
Philippa.
Hi, Denise.
I'm going to figure out the video.
Okay, and Charlotte and John are here. I can see them. And Sarah's coming in too. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
You look nice and relaxed out in the sunshine.
They gave me permission to take the meeting at home. So I came home at 2:45, changed into my workout clothes so I can walk the dog right after the meeting.
Oh, terrific. Excellent. Did you get ice cream today?
No, but I was on South Campus.
There was no ice cream on North Campus?
I don't know. I wasn't on North.
Oh, should have been ice cream available on both campuses. Did you get one yesterday?
No.
Sarah, you're not doing yourself justice.
I think there was ice cream yesterday at North though.
Okay, good. Denise, can you find yourself?
I'm looking.
Okay, John and Charlotte, I see both of you, but you're muted. Great. How are you feeling, Charlotte?
Much better, thanks.
Oh, I'm glad. We've been worrying about you at the gym. How's
Uh-huh.
Charlotte? Anybody heard from Charlotte? How's Charlotte doing? Everybody's wondering.
Back the first Monday of the month. First Monday of June.
Yeah. Got our fingers crossed and our prayers out there for you.
Thank you.
Denise, can you hear us even if we can't see you?
I can hear you.
Okay, well, I think we should get started then. Treasurer's report.
Okay, you should all have gotten. the
Oh, no,
treasurer's-
we should have the secretary's report first, don't we? Did everybody have a chance to see the minutes of the last meeting? Sorry. Can I have a motion to accept them as offered?
So move.
Motion. Yeah.
Second, okay. All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I
Opposed? Abstentions? No. Great. Now treasurer's report, Charlotte, please.
Now treasurer's report, which you also should all have gotten.
Right.
Yes,
Yes.
and the only two expenses in the last month were the mowing and reimbursing Philippa.
Terrific.
And there
The
mistake
two
in
new
the-
the two new trees that we got, Charlotte, both were covered by the gift certificate. So the new swamp oak and the cedar, the Alaskan cedar, were both came under the gift certificate. So we didn't have any expenses coming out for that, which was nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Very good. So we still have almost $3,000.
So we need Julian to come up with some work
Yes, we do.
before the end of before when? When does it have to be done by? End of June or beginning of June? John?
End of June.
And
End of June. So we've got all June to do it in. Okay.
So you got 6 weeks.
Right. Okay. With that in mind, I just got a call this morning from Jay. He had arranged a meeting with me and then canceled it because he said Karen couldn't be there. But we're going to be meeting tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock at the town hall. If anybody can come, that would be great. It'll be Jay, Karen, myself, and any one more of you that can be there.
I
Anybody?
can be there. I can be there. I'm just going to be a little late because I'm coming from a faculty meeting. Let me go get my phone to write it all down. Hold on.
Okay.
But I can be there.
Terrific. Anybody else?
I've got a
Denise?
meeting in New Haven in the morning and I'm not sure I'll be back in time.
Okay. How about you, Denise?
I think I should be able to be there. Yes.
Great. So we'll be meeting probably in his office, I imagine, at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And Julian is going to be there for the water meeting, but not for this particular meeting. Okay. Art in the Arboretum. Rachel was not able to come today. We did not get a tremendous response. There were 5 adult artists who are there who are painting. Only one of them has turned in 2 pieces of work. Elaine has, and they can both be on display, and she has price tags on them, and they're lovely Arboretum focused pieces of work. We had one high school student who came, and that student, they made 2 pieces of artwork. And we had 3 middle school students who came, and only one of them has turned in any artwork. I've emailed Barbara Lucia and said, can I bring what essentially is 3 pieces of work over to you so that you can make some comments about them? I throw it open to discussion. We had talked previously about $100 first place prize. We now have basically 2 students, one at each school level. I'm not sure that, I just feel like $100 is a lot of money to give when there wasn't much competition, but I throw it open to discussion. What do you think? Anybody's thoughts? Nobody's thinking.
I guess my thoughts are, like, I feel if we said we were gonna do it, we need to do it.
Well, we only said it to ourselves, Denise, remember? It wasn't
Oh,
made.
we did.
The size of the
Okay.
prize was not made public,
Okay.
just to let you know that. But yeah, that's a
But we-
valid point. We did say we were going to do it.
So, but we did say there would be a prize.
Yes, there should definitely be a prize of some money. I'm just questioning whether somebody who had nobody to compete with should get $100. But maybe I'm being mean. Maybe I'm a Grinch. Charlotte, what do you think? You're the treasurer.
Well, we can certainly afford it.
Okay,
And I would think it would encourage people the next time around.
okay. Sarah, your thoughts?
Yeah. $100 isn't, in this day and age, isn't that much money anymore.
No.
Give 'em $100.
Still seems huge to me. You're right, though. Okay. Okay.
Did we say there would be different prizes for middle school and high school? So we
No,
should
we said
or-
they would be separate competitions with 2
Yeah.
first prizes. Yes, we did say that, but we didn't say one would be a bigger prize than the other one. There was going to be different levels, different areas of competition, different classes, John. So middle school
Okay,
students,
so it's actually 2 prizes of $100 each.
that's what it would be. Yes.
Maybe the middle school, $50. Just because.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Denise and Charlotte?
I don't know. I still think we ought to stick to it.
Okay. Denise? I've lost you, Denise. I have your name on the screen, Denise, but you're muted and you are no face. Okay, you're obviously having a technological difficulty. Let's come back, let's circle back to that. Rachel is going to hang them next week. And they will be in the hall of the town hall, in the corridor, main corridor of the town hall, all through the summer. And Elaine Turner, who is the person who submitted the adult who gave in 2 pieces of work, she would like to, she's willing to have hers hang there for the whole summer. So I think it will make a nice display. Did you all see the article in the Villager
Yes,
with all
very
the
nice.
photographs? That was nice. I mean, the photographs were
Very nice.
difficult to distinguish, but it was nice to have it there.
Oh, yeah.
So my thinking is that we should do the same thing with these pictures. We should take pictures, and if we can take pictures of the artist, that would be great. And then put a little article again in the Villager and saying what the prizes were, because we're looking to make people want to do it next year. What do you think,
Good idea.
Sarah? Yeah, okay. Denise wrote that and she took the pictures, and she has the camera that takes good pictures, so I will ask her to do that again. I guess we should try it again next year. What do you think? Is it worth trying again?
I think so, because I mean, there were the people who were there seemed to have a good time. And yes, we didn't get a huge crowd, but there was a lot going on that weekend.
Right.
A
So
lot of competition.
maybe we should try for a different date, do you think?
I think no matter what day we pick in the spring, you're gonna run into competition. Like it just is what it is.
Hmm.
So
One of the reasons we had chosen that date was to accommodate the Pomfret School, Marianapolis School, and Rectory School.
Sure.
And we got no attendees and no entrance from them. Is it still better to have a May date, do you think, than a June date?
yes.
Okay. Hi, Denise. I can see you.
Hi, yeah, thanks. I'm sorry, I got cut off a little bit, so sorry about that.
That's all right. You're back with us. We've avoided discussing the size of the prize money, and we're sort of circling around whether we should do the art in the Arboretum again next year.
Okay.
What do you think?
You know, I liked it as far as just, I thought there was, while there were few submissions, maybe in a different way. I mean, there were about 20 people who were there throughout the day. I thought it was a nice event as far as just exposing people to the Arboretum. Maybe it's doing something a different way.
Okay. I mean, we could add another component to the art, like suggest that people come and write a poem, write a haiku. That's easy enough to write in a brief period of time. So that
Right.
the idea of art, we could expand it to increase, include other kinds of things. But I think it was as successful as our spring festival, and we've got something to show for it afterwards. So yeah, I would agree we should do it again. Yeah, go ahead, Denise.
I was just gonna throw out there, I just wonder about, you know, how they have those art and wine nights where people come and somebody walks you through doing a painting. Has anybody ever done one of those? I haven't, but I've seen them. I mean, I wonder if we could have an artist that would come and people could paint. They could walk them through painting a particular tree.
I bet Elaine Turner would do that because she is just a live wire. I think she would love something like that. What do you
I
think,
mean,
Sarah?
just something different rather than having accomplished artists invite an inspiring artist, or that everybody goes home with something from the Arboretum.
I think it's
Just
a
an
great idea. Sure. Other thoughts? What do you think about that, John and Charlotte?
I think another event of some kind, basically somebody teaching a course or somebody brainstorming about how you might go about picking a spot to paint or what would be interesting.
Yeah, I do too.
I know that Barbara Lucia was hoping to do a plein air painting class that morning, but she decided her garden was not up to par. And so it was canceled, Elaine Turner said, because Elaine was going to go to that class. So that might be either Elaine or Barbara might be people that we could ask to do something like that they would enjoy that. I have a call into Barbara right now to talk about judging the three paintings or making comments about them. And I'll ask her about that as well. Sarah, any thoughts about that?
I just think whatever we do, we have to really, really think about advertising and how to do it more effectively and efficiently. So like, for example, Winnie will not get back to you. The only way I get contacted Winnie if I'm going on for Woodstock Academy or if I'm on there and I put myself on the calendar, and I haven't been on Winnie in a little bit. So and I think you have to do like the multi-tier media blast. Like you can't just tell people once. And I think we haven't done a good job and collectively at our advertising. And I think that's something, whatever event we do, we have to think about it. It might be worth it to do something in the shopper's guide. It might be, which I know is a non-traditional, which is a much more traditional form of advertising. It might be worth it to print out flyers and put them in the wool store down in Putnam and put it in the Silver Circle and put it in these places. I think we have to do a much more, a better attempt I mean, Philip, I know you gave the ad to the school. We didn't get that email till 5 o'clock on Friday about the event on Saturday. So I think we have to do a better job as a collectively to hit all the people we want to have come.
Right. And now it went out from Woodstock Middle School twice to the whole parents group. And that went out way ahead of time. This time, I'd given it to Chris. And so you're right. It came out just the last minute, huh? Yeah. Okay. I think you're right. Yeah. Because we want more. We don't have to have hundreds of people, but it would be nice to have more than 3,
Well, there were more than 3
I think-
people there.
Yes.
It's only 3 people who were willing to put their art forward. So it's,
Right.
I mean, we may have to remember that filter. And if we had 40 people there, we would have had maybe 6 entrants, but the Arboretum would have looked very different.
Right. You're quite right. Yeah. Okay. So thinking about that, I like that idea of having a teacher come in and run an art class, Denise. I think that's kind of a fun idea.
Hmm.
You'd also mentioned the idea of having a book group there reading Overstory, right?
Yes, yeah.
Or some other tree related book, and then having a discussion group down there. I think that's another
Right.
interesting idea.
Yeah, I wonder about doing something like that in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
um,
As long as
and
it's not too
inviting
cold.
people.
Yeah, as long as it's
Yeah.
not too cold out there. I don't think we can offer wine.
Okay,
I don't know how one does something like that. I'm assuming that,
No.
I know that people, when they come to a concert at the Pink House, bring wine and drink it. It's not for sale. It's not offered by the Pink House. People bring their own wine. So I guess if it was a BYOB, people could bring whatever they wanted,
okay,
right?
Well,
Right.
it's town, I don't know what the rules are on town property.
Yeah,
That's
That's a good question for Jay Swan.
right. Okay. Yeah, because the Pink House is not town property, is it? It belongs to
Nope.
historical society, historical association or something.
Yeah,
but
it's owned by the New England Historic Properties or something.
something like that. Yes. Okay. So it might have to be pink lemonade, Denise, and not
yes,
not
yes.
roses.
Well, we can follow up with that, but that's a good thing to explore.
Okay. Any other thoughts about the art in the Arboretum? These are all good thoughts. Work days. We had some terrific work from Pomfret students. They did it.
Philippa, can I just ask, so there was no decision made about the prize?
Oh, we were waiting
awarded?
for you. We were waiting for you to chip in, but now you're chipping. So the question came up: should they both? It will basically be 2 students, 1 middle school and 1 high school, both of whom had no competition in winning first prize because they're the only ones who presented their work. We had talked amongst ourselves about $100 first prize. The question is, should they get $100 first prize? Charlotte felt we've got the money, we should do that. Sarah suggested maybe it should be just $50 for the middle school student. I haven't really weighed in. I'm not sure. I just raised the question of whether they should get $100 each. What do you think? And Sarah also said that $100 is not such a big prize. It's not such a big prize in this day and age.
Right, I agree. I like the idea of, I mean, if there are 2 of them, giving them each $50, if or were the work submitted 1 high school, 1 middle school, I mean, awarding them $50 and thanking them for taking part.
So you would say you would go with a lower prize for each of them.
Right.
Okay, so we've got 3 options now. We've got $100 for each, we've got $50 for each, and we've got $100 for the high school and a $50 for the middle school.
Oh, okay.
So 3 options.
Any one of those is lovely, according to me, and maybe with input from Barbara Lucier, if she thinks that one particularly has a, they can give them 100 and the other 50, or whatever.
Well, they're not competing against each other, Denise. They're in separate classes, remember?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So maybe get a quality assessment from her, whether it's $100 worth $100 or worth $50.
Yeah.
How
And
do other people feel about that? Charlotte, how do you feel?
I still think for the word of mouth advertising for next year, it's worth doing 100, but
Okay, that's a very valid point.
Hey.
John, any thoughts?
I would agree. I think it's sort of asking, it feels to me like we're putting off the decision by leaving it up to Barbara or
Okay.
getting Barbara's input.
yeah.
And why don't we just decide and move on to the next thing? And,
Okay.
you know, $100 each,
It's not that much anymore.
as Sarah points out, and Charlotte just mentioned, is not a lot of money. And word of mouth for next year, maybe, you know, I got $100 for turning my painting in. That's
Right.
a
Sarah?
bad day's.
Is that okay with you, Sarah?
Yeah, I don't care either way. Like, this is not something I'm married to. Like,
Okay, Denise, would you be okay with this?
yes. How
Okay,
about you, Philippa? Would you?
I'm fine with it. I am fine with it. I just want everybody to feel good about the decision. That's all. Okay, all right, moving on. It'll be $100 for each. And with comments from Barbara Lucia about the quality of the painting or suggestions or whatever she wants to say. Going back to work days, then I think the Pomfret School kids did a great job, particularly in the volunteer day where they all came for the whole day. And thank you, Denise, for baking, and
Mhm.
thank you for bringing munchies for the art festival too, Charlotte and John. We have a work day coming up, Sarah, right? About how many students?
well, it's gonna be in 2 waves. We have the kids right after school, and they'll be like till 3:45, and those will be like 20 of them. And then there's all the track kids who are getting filmed or something other, and Josh Welsh is gonna bring them down, and they're gonna go from when he brings them down for an hour and 10 minutes. But I'll drive back down there. The only thing we have to remember is to leave the shed open, because I told him I'm gonna come home and walk the dog, but I'd go
Right.
back down, but
Okay.
Josh can do it.
Okay. And you have a list of things that need to be done?
Yep, we have to weed. We have to pull weeds,
Weed,
Yeah.
yeah.
pick up sticks, pull weeds.
Do you remember the hosta that are under the yew tree?
Absolutely not.
Okay. There are sort of big leaved plants that are growing back under the first yew tree, and we moved most of them.
Yeah.
But obviously some were left and they're growing in again. My thinking is that we could move them just a short distance to that black plastic that's below the bank, below Jesse's bank,
Yeah.
and we could put them in there.
Okay, but you're under 2 assumptions: that I know what a yew tree is. That's problem number 1.
I will be there, Sarah, and I will corral some of the kids to move them, okay? The other thing that needs to be done is that the daffodils need to be deadheaded. You know what a daffodil looks like?
Yes,
Okay.
I know what a daffodil is.
Okay, so those need to be deadheaded.
Okay,
And if I can get my act together, I'll bring down some more golden flags that could be planted along that little stream
okay.
bed. Otherwise, yeah, that's what needs to be done.
Okay.
Denise had said she had offered to bake some goodies for you, and I could bake. Do you think that would be appreciated by the kids?
They always want food.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Great.
the end of the year. We're just grinding. We're literally grinding to the end. They always take anything.
Okay. One of the things that will come up for that discussion tomorrow with Jay is hiring high school kids during
Yep.
the summer. We need to do that, and that definitely is going to be on the agenda. Anything else about work days for right now?
What day are the work days?
Thursday, 2:30.
Ah, okay.
That's the only one that's scheduled at the moment, John.
Okay,
So 2:30 to probably 3:45,
3:45.
and then whenever the track kids come down. So it could be a couple of hours that afternoon.
Yep.
So if anybody's free to come, that would be wonderful. Welcome you. It's good to have adults wandering around. Do any of you have a chainsaw and know how to use one? No chainsaws in this group?
I have a small electric one,
Yeah?
powered one.
Would you be willing to bring it down and do a little chainsawing?
Yes. The
Plug it
blade
in.
is only about that long.
Okay.
I mean, it really is
There is a tree with a trunk about this size.
oh, I could manage that.
It's not big, but I think there are a couple of them that are clearly dead and should be taken away from the shoots that are sprouting up. But you could
I can
manage
do
that? And we could have a student work with you and grab the tree and move it away. Will you be able to come down that day, or would you rather come down another time when you're
Late,
free?
it won't be, I have a land trust meeting on Thursday,
Okay,
middle of the day. We're doing a presentation on insects in
mhm,
Putnam. But
Okay.
I should be able to be back at the Arboretum 3 o'clock or 3:30ish, if that's
And the-
okay.
that would be fantastic, and there'll be students there. So it's not a big deal of trees. It's just a couple of little things that need to be cut out. And there will be students there to help you too. That would be great, John.
When are the students going to leave?
The track kids are coming down what time, Sarah?
Josh thinks maybe 4:35.
They
Okay,
come at 4:35.
Yeah, they're coming in a second shift. That's why I told them, like, I would leave everything open, text him what he has to do. I'd come home, get the dog, and I'd go back up and join him.
Okay,
He'll be
Oh, so
alone
this-
for a little bit.
okay. So there should be somebody there, John.
okay.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, and everybody got the text about the water group that's meeting, right? Julian's going to be there. Jean Pillow is going to be there, who designed the rain garden. And I will be there. Denise, you said you could be there,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Let me get the date. I forgot the date. Hang on.
It's the 20th at 4.
Thank you, Sarah. That's right.
Yeah.
You set it up, so I know you can be there. 20th at 4. So can you join us, John and Charlotte?
Is that Saturday, the 20th?
No,
I mean, it's the
Monday.
Monday. The
Oh,
22nd.
it's in June.
22nd, sorry.
Monday, the
Well, Monday,
22nd.
22nd.
Monday, May the 22nd at 4 o'clock. If you can make it, great. We're talking about the concerns that Julian raised about getting water down to all the trees.
And Bill Bauer will yell at us. Like, I can tell
Oh.
you, he'll totally yell at us. It's fine.
That's all right. We're going to smooth oil on troubled waters here.
Mm.
Might be able to do it, but might not. We've got something in the middle of the day down in southern Connecticut.
Oh, okay. We'll take notes, John and Charlotte, and we'll share them with you. But the big concern is the Arboretum, are the trees dying because of lack of water, or are they dying because of the diseases and things? And Bill Barrow had raised the concern that because he felt the rain garden was not functioning the way it should function, it's channeling the water away from those trees right below the hill. And that's why they're getting sick and dying. So we're having a look at that. And then there are those big drains that take water down, all the way down. And
Mhm.
that seems to be taking water away from trees too. And why are they there? And what was that all about? And Bill was part of the Arboretum when that was installed. So he's like the history guy. He will know why it was done, and Julian can say whether it's a good thing or not. So it may be another thing we have to take care of, but it's a great chance to bring some brains together and for us to get information.
And that's on the 22nd. What time is that?
4 o'clock.
Okay,
So if you can make it, terrific. If not, we'll take notes and get them to you. But
and it's going
Sarah,
to be at the town hall?
no, it's going to be right at the Arboretum.
Okay,
No, we'll be walking around the Arboretum looking at what's going on here, what's going on there, what needs to be done differently. Jean Pillow designed the rain garden, apparently, when it was installed.
yep, she does
Oh.
that.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about this water group, the town hall group. Is anybody going to be around this summer?
Okay.
Is
No,
everybody?
you'll- a couple of trips, but we'll be around most of the summer.
Okay, because one of
Yeah.
the things that sort of has to happen is, somebody has to go down and check on things down there. The 2 new trees will need some watering. The plants in the planters that Denise put in, we've got pansies in there right now, but that will probably need to be changed to something else and will need watering. And just keeping an eye on what's going on down there is important. I will go down as much as I can, but it's nice to have other people, every sort of once a week, somebody goes down and checks on it. And if people could take a day, that'd be great. So just think about that. What day would fit your calendar? What day would fit? I mean, I go by and water it right now on my way to the gym, Denise.
Okay,
I put water in the back of the car, and on my way I stop and I go down and I have a big cooler of water and I dump half in one tree and half in the other tree because
That's
it's
good.
hot and I think new trees need to be watered daily. So I'm doing that right now. But during the summer, if I was going to go away for a day, I'd need somebody else to take a look at it. So think
I
about.
I
Sorry.
could do stuff the end of June to the mid of July, but then after July 20th, I am not back until school starts.
How wonderful. Where are you going?
Around
Nice.
Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, all around.
I have my mother with me because my dad's away, so I have to be with my mom, so she can help too.
Okay, fantastic.
would it,
Um,
Philippa, would it be helpful if I sent out like a sign up and then people could just, sign up for weeks? And then if you or somebody else is there and can go that week as well, for all the better, but just to make sure we have every week covered?
Denise, that would be wonderful. Let's wait
Okay.
until after we meet with Jay, because
Okay.
the other piece is if we can hire students to weed, that the time that they come out may need one of us there to kind of supervise.
Okay,
So, and that would be a time to water and check things. So we need
okay,
to, instead of doing it twice, let's find that piece.
okay,
Okay. I think the students, I'm thinking in my mind of wanting 2 students, 3 hours a week, 1.5 hours each, twice a week. Does that make sense, Sarah? Do you think with kids?
Wait, what? An hour and a half, 2 times a
An-
week?
An hour and a half, twice a week, 2 students.
And they can pick whenever they go. They can go 8 a.m. They can go 5 o'clock at night.
Whatever will work with their real job, yes. But we would need
Yeah, I
to
think
know
so.
when they're going to be there so that, there could be an adult kind of checking in on them.
Sure.
But you think that's about right?
Yeah.
I think that a kid would want to do that. And what would we pay them? $15 an hour?
I don't know what's minimum wage.
I don't know.
Let's look.
Google it.
I am.
Of course, it may count as farm work, which is lower.
Then no
What?
kid will do it. $15 an hour.
There you go.
Then we pay a minimum wage. They're weeding. They can take
Right.
a deep breath. They're
Right.
fine.
But that would be something for us to have sort of set when we meet with Jay tomorrow, that this is what it would cost us.
Yeah.
Um,
And they have to get a paycheck. Like I will push that. I just saw Jay today again when I voted. Like they have to get paid. None of this gift card, none of this like.
yeah, absolutely. No gift card nonsense. No, they need to apply to the town hall and become town hall employees, because they can then use that, as on their work record.
Sure.
There's not just a gift card. Yeah.
Scam.
Okay. Other questions, thoughts, concerns?
I wonder, are we kind of just on hold? I know Julian mentioned about some of the trees that he thought should perhaps be removed, whether we should be proceeding with getting a few bids on removal of those trees, or we just kind of on hold with that for now?
I think that would be a great thing to bring up with Jay when we meet with him. The last time when we had that oak tree dealt with, we got bids from 3 or 4 different people. And then because the town was paying for it, they went with their lumbering company who did a great job. One of the things that I want to bring up with Jay is, Karen had said at that meeting that the town, that our budget does not have to cover dead trees.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is a safety hazard, the town has to take care of that. They made those 2 points. Well, if this is the case, then, we will go with Julian's recommendations and say to the town, this needs to be done.
Okay,
That's my thinking, is we need to find out, are they really going to back what they said?
okay,
Does that seem reasonable?
yes.
But I do think we need to plant some more wet plant things that like wet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. You should look, when you go down, Sarah, look at the primulas. They are stunning right now. The ones the Girl Scouts planted.
Yeah. So does Spruce still have some? We have all this money. We have to spend some of it.
I don't know if Sprucedale sells them, but I can certainly find out.
Okay.
Are they over to the left in that waterway? That's the more formal one, or are they over to the right?
No,
where
they're
it's wet?
We're in the
That-
swamp.
in the swamp. On the left-hand side of the Arboretum is the swamp, basically.
Okay, yeah.
And the primula are beside the path that goes across the upper end of the swamp.
Yep.
And they're right in that water, in that wet area. And right now, they're about 1.5 feet tall. And they're all blossoming in shades of pink and purple and cream and red. And they really are gorgeous. And I would love to have that. I would hope they're invasive. I keep saying, go on, invade, invade, invade. Yeah. And Sarah, even those trees that we planted that looked like they didn't like getting their belly buttons wet are coming back into leaf right now.
Oh, really? Huh.
So we've lost one, but the rest are beginning to leaf in a little bit. So maybe we haven't lost them, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, but I agree with you.
Is there a
Go ahead.
native willow that would like the wet to plant
Ooh,
over to the right?
I don't know.
I bet there is, yeah. I mean, we have that laurel-leafed willow, which is very happy, but I bet there are other willows, silver willows, that are very pretty. We could plant down there on the right.
Because that's very wet. Of course, if we reroute the water to help the trees near the
Won't be
top
so
of
wet.
it may not be as wet.
Sure.
Right. Again, maybe that's something to discuss when we do our water meeting with Julian. Is some more suggestions of what to put in both areas of the swamp. To have a swamp should be bursting with all kinds of exciting things, I would think. The cardinal
Okay.
flowers, it's very pretty.
Philip,
Any
I
other-
definitely will be late tomorrow. I forgot they were voting on senior awards. So I'll come, but I might be at 3:15.
Okay,
They were voting.
okay. That's a big thing to vote on that's for sure. Any other thoughts, concerns, questions, worries, things that have kept you awake at night?
Are we good with the Federated Garden Club of Connecticut, our being an official member?
That's coming up at
there's-
the next meeting, I believe, John, right?
Okay,
That's right. There's a board meeting tomorrow. That's why I'm going to New Haven. And our application to become affiliated with them will be voted on at that board meeting.
Excellent.
And I expect it'll be approved. There's no reason for it not to be, but one never knows.
Yeah,
great.
that would be terrific. And that would be another source of publicity by the Senate, rather like the last Green Valley, that they have
Yes.
like a calendar of events. And so we could put walks in there or any other kind of thing that we were doing, we could advertise in there.
They publish a newsletter every other month.
Mhm.
And that goes out to 6,000 garden club members around the state, most of whom are on the coast, because that's where most of the garden clubs are, and then around Hartford and in the wealthy parts of that part of the state.
Okay,
But it would get, there's 100 members of the Quiet Corner Garden Club that get that newsletter too.
mm-hmm,
So that's all this, Woodstock and surrounding towns.
great. Okay. So that's coming up. Anything else? Denise, any other questions, thoughts, concerns?
No, no. Thank you.
Okay. One thing I think you were offline. It would be great when the pictures are mounted at the town hall. If you could take some photographs of them. I think we're hoping to have a little reception of some sort. And another article in the Villager would be great.
Okay.
I would-
Hopefully I can come to the reception too and maybe take some photos from that in addition to the pictures and then send them out.
That would be lovely. That would be
Okay.
great. I think that was a great write-up that you did and sending all those pictures in. And thank you for doing that. Does anybody seen the Putnam Crier? Did Linda Lemon get anything into the Putnam Crier?
Don't see that.
I don't see it either. Apparently
Hmm.
Sweet Ev's has them on. I'll stop by Sweet Ev's tonight when I go to vote and see if they've got a copy of it.
Mm,
So the reception for the art in the Arboretum will be when Rachel has managed to mount everything, and she's out flat this week, she said. So she won't be able to mount it until next week. So my thinking is we'll talk about what would be a good day. Okay? And
sounds good.
we'll bake something and no wine in the town hall, pink lemonade.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Sarah, anything? No. Charlotte and John, anything?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Denise, anything?
No,
Okay. Thank you all very much. We are
thank
gonna
you,
go-
Philippa.
Bye.
Hi,
night,
Sarah.
everybody.
Charlotte,
Don't
so
forget to
nice
vote if you
see
haven't voted.
Good to see you, Charlotte.
Thank you. See you
Take
soon.
care. You too, John.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.